had to create a ghetto ass ring light. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Hold on, let's see if I can. I don't know what's in there. Help me. Help me, please. Alright, I think that's cool. I think that's cool. That's gonna have to do. That's gonna have to do what it do. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Jazzilla, aka Jazz, aka the original Kaiju. Let me wipe this lip off. That's what I meant to do. Like how that look. Yeah. Gotta get that Shigo going. Alright, you guys. I think this is okay. Back with another video. Yay, isn't that beautiful? Follow my, my socials in the link below. Do your big thing for me. Hold up, I almost forgot. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I might be a little, looking a little back and forth. You gotta excuse that because I'm trying to get used to, recording this way. But anyways, I have some quick tips or whatever when it comes down to, if I look cross-eyed too, don't mind me. I'm looking.
2 hours is long enough.
Okay, there we go. So for today's video, you guys will be speaking about fasting. We will talk about my journey with fasting. We'll be talking about my tips on fasting. It's gonna be pretty straight to the point. The reason why I get a lot of questions on my fast was because my very first fast, you guys, I did 30 days. No vitamins, no fruit, no food, not a lick of nothing but water. Did 30 days off of water. At the time, I was at home. My boyfriend at the time, now husband, hey hubby, he was working, I was staying at home. During that time period, I was technically bedridden. Honestly, the reason why I started my fast was because I had some it was weird. So your temples, right? Out of nowhere, it felt like something was like this, tickling at my temples, and it would not stop. Like, oh my God. I was just thinking the worst. Like, oh no, what's going on? Like, I ain't got no time for this. This was way before I got deep into health. This is before my spiritual phase, all of that. Like, I was just winging life. I was depressed. I was addicted to alcohol, weed, and my cigarettes, and my blacks. Like, I was on that type of time. A lot of alcohol. Baby, so much alcohol. Remember Amsterdam? That shit like that this big? I drink that whole thing on my own. Chilling. I'll be drunk, but I'll be chilling. I'll be like, yeah, cool. Like, that's my drink intake for the day. Like, that's the type of time I was on. Like, I was tripping, yo. I was just eating whatever. I was basically a person who was excessive in everything she did. I was very excessive. Like if you don't know when to stop, that says a lot. So I was a person who just didn't know how to stop or when to stop. And then I would get easily offended when people would try to say like, hey, what's going on with this or what's going on with that? I didn't want to hear it. Did not want to hear it.
Leave me alone, damn it!
As you can tell, very unhealthy, very, it was bad, y'all. That's all I gotta say. It was not good. I was like, you know what, let me see what I can do in order to heal myself because, nobody got time for that right now. So I was like, you know what? I gotta figure out something. And my mind was like, look up fasting. Let me look up fasting and different variations of fasting to see what can help reset my body in full. And that is where water fasting came up. For water fasting, I learned that you can basically reset your body once you allow your body to rest, like fully rest. It can spend more time on healing itself as opposed to constantly trying to break down food or constantly trying to just do everything to keep up its functions, right? So I was like, let me try out water fasting. Just to start at the foundation of it all, what is fasting? Now, fasting is abstaining from food or drink for an extended amount of time. There's so many different type of fast, okay? The fast that I am the most understanding of are, I would say, all liquid fasting. The other fast that I'm also into are fruit fast. If you are unsure about the type of fast that you would like to partake in, I would recommend shooting me an email, and we can figure out what will work best for you and what would be safe for you. And then you can take that to your doctor and see if that aligns. I would say fasting has changed my life in a multitude of ways. My main thing that I love about fasting is how it connected me with spirit. Because like I said, I was super excessive with how I ate, or just with how I did anything. I was very excessive, and it got to a point where it was quite dangerous, honestly. Like, you ain't got no self-control, girl. Like, get it together. I didn't know no better. Like I said, I was far gone. I was just there's a lot of people who have a whole bunch of kids, got a whole bunch of life going on, that's trying to do a 30-day water fast, and I'm like, hey, you gotta slow your roll. Like, it takes a lot out of a person, mentally, spiritually, physically. Number one tip is to consult a professional health care provider or physician, okay? People are so quick to see certain things online, and then they take it upon themselves to do those things without gaining deeper knowledge on their own. You can't sit up here and do certain things that can affect your health and think that it's dandy, because that was my issue. Like I said, I went about it in a way where I was trying to avoid going to the doctor, and I took matters into my own hands. Yes, it did work out for the better, but a lot of people have, underlying health conditions that they're even unaware about. And you do not want to put yourself in a detrimental position because you're just trying to hop on a trend, or you're just trying to do anything to, be healthy. But it's like, you just gotta make sure it's right for you. You have to make sure you're talking to professionals, because like I said, it's your body, it's your health, it's your life. You do not want to lose your life trying to follow what someone else is doing. If something works for one person, sometimes it may not work for the others. So you have to be mindful of that. When you get into anything, whether it's trying a new product, anything, you have to be like understanding of what you're getting yourself into, and understand like it may not work out. So you have to speak to a professional so you can make sure that you are in the green zone to try out different things, okay? All right, my fasting tip number 2 is to stay hydrated. You have to drink water that is mineralized, and you have to make sure that you are drinking mineralized water, because if you are just drinking empty water, that's not giving your body anything to work with, because like I said, you're not taking in minerals or vitamins anywhere else. And that's if you're doing a straight up water fast. And I still highly recommend, just on your daily life, to drink spring water, preferably in glass bottles. I still drink plastic, drink water out of plastic bottles, but I'm just letting you know what's the best, to go for. When it comes to spring water, they naturally have the minerals that you need, okay? The natural salts. Because in order for your body to actually absorb the water, your body needs salt. But you have to have some type of sodium. And when I say sodium, I'm not speaking on iodized salts or processed salts. I'm speaking on your Celtic salts, your Himalayan pink salts. Say if you have a water, purified water, right? And you add those minerals into it on your own, okay, fine. But then that's where you still should speak with a doctor, because you need to understand how much salt does your body actually need in order to absorb that water. Okay, so if you plan on fasting, I recommend staying hydrated. Put a timer on your phone. Every 30 minutes or every 10 minutes, whatever, take a sip of water. Just nothing crazy, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they gotta chug water. Do not chug your water. You're drowning out your organs. You want to make sure your body is taking in what it's getting. Now, if you're trying to do a quick flush, okay. But then still be careful, because you don't want to overdo it. People can pass away that way. Drinking too much water is, too much of anything can be a bad thing. So be mindful of that, okay? So for fasting tip number 3, you want to make sure that you are starting slow. Like I said, I started my whole journey with doing a 30-day water fast. That is extremely excessive. That is very extreme. I would not recommend that for anyone. Honestly, Starting slow is a great thing. So for instance, if I was aware of the water fast and I wasn't so anxious to do it within that moment, I would have been like, okay, well, let me start off with just doing a simple cutoff of what I'm eating. So say I'm used to eating ice cream every night. Okay, for 4 days, I am going to cut out my ice cream intake. You still eat everything else, still do whatever you do. You just cut off one thing, right? So you move to intermediate fasting, like, okay, I'm gonna spend majority of my day drinking water, go an extended amount of hours, and then you have your big meal, right? That's cool. Then the next thing I would do is do a fruit fast. Okay, for the next 3 days, I eat nothing but fruit. It's a way to build a relationship with your body and how you feel. If you go into things the extreme way, you won't understand the different levels of yourself, if that makes sense. Well, this next fasting tip, you want to make sure that you are listening to your body. So say if you're fasting, right? And you start to feel crazy, there's people that will be like, no, I gotta finish this out. I gotta do this. I gotta push through. Don't do that. If you start feeling like you're about to pass out, or if you just simply don't feel right, that's all it boils down to. If you do not feel right, please take that as a sign and grab you a piece of fruit or something to get that energy back going. Get you a simple carb like an apple or something, because that's, for one, apples are easily digested in your system, and it's the fastest way to get your carbs, which is, energy. That would be the best thing to break your fast with if you have to. Yeah, if you're feeling like dizzy and just, like I said, just not feeling right at all, please do yourself a favor, break that fast. And depending on how long that fast is, so say if you've been fasting for like 3 days, you do not want to jump right into eating a heavy meal, okay? But that goes into my next tip. The next tip is to, depending on the fast you're doing, so say if you're doing an all liquid fast, longer than 2 days or 3 days, when you do finally eat again, you want to make sure that you are eating foods that are light on your stomach. Because imagine going so many days with your body just not digesting food and working on other parts, and then you just shock your body by throwing in a whole bunch of heavy foods. Don't do that to yourself, okay? So definitely give yourself time, work your way up. Start off with a piece of fruit, and you want to make sure you're taking it slow, okay? Especially if it's your first time fasting. So yeah, just be kind to your body, be kind to yourself, listen to your body. And like I said, do not engorge yourself with food after breaking a fast. That is the quickest way to offset the whole fast. You know what I'm saying? If you are doing a fast that incorporates food, I recommend whole foods, healing foods. The next tip, you want to make sure the food that you are eating works in sync with your body. Like fried foods and this, that, no. Make sure that you are eating whole foods. Make sure they are prepared in a healthy way. Because like I said, you want to make sure that you are giving your body something to work with. If you are trying to heal yourself, you do not want to have something that combats against that, okay? What? You don't want to do that. Then there will be no point of fasting, right? So definitely be very mindful of what you are eating if you are doing a fast that still incorporates food. Because shit, if you are doing this to heal your body, eat healing foods. Fast food is a no, unless you are going to a place that is known for not having preservatives, that is known for being cooked with certain oils and this, that, or whatever. And it's best to prepare your own food as well during a fast, because you can be in control of what you are putting into your body. It can get kind of tricky, but just do the best you can, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. Excuse me. Like I said, I was going about things in a weird way because I was in a weird headspace. I didn't know no better with anything, so I was just kind of winging it. But that's why I'm here to teach you guys and let you know, hey, do this, don't do this, but then still go about your own self as well, okay? Because I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but I'm just here to help, okay? I also recommend getting a food diary. With that food diary, you can literally become more aware of how you feel based off of what you are putting in your body. Because the one thing I've noticed is when I was fasting, that was the clearest my mind has ever been. I was able to understand my wrongdoings from when I was younger up until that very moment. Like everything was becoming more clear to me. I seen things differently. I felt things differently. I felt things more fully. When it comes to the spiritual aspect, I feel like that part gets kind of deep. But just know truth will be revealed to you in ways depending on the fast you're doing. Like I said, I did 30 days off of water. There were certain things that were posed in my mind during that water fast that came to pass after the fast was over. That was God. Spirit had literally told me during this time, like, hey, X, Y, and Z is gonna happen as soon as you break your fast. But I'm just thinking I'm just tripping, because I'm not used to hearing that voice like that, because I was so drowned out by all the alcohol and the bullshit, and I had so many vices. I couldn't hear God. I was in my own world, okay? La 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 la, la 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 la, Elmo's world. When all the vices go away and you are left with, nothing but yourself, you have no choice but to hear God. Okay? When it comes to different type of fast, you have to be mentally prepared, because it gets very deep. Like I said, with the water fast, it became very deep to the point where things that was being said in my mind came to pass literally after the fast. It scared me, honestly. I'm new to this, not true to this. Like, what is going on? You will just be sensitive in every way, shape, and form, honestly. So the next tip I would say is to be very mindful of your mental health during that time. I know I spoke on a food journal, but definitely get yourselves a journal. Instead of keeping everything boiled up and within yourself, it's good to let it out in some way. You have to let things out. Things that are in darkness have to come to light. When you are fasting, those dark parts of yourself are going to be uprooted. Okay? But you can't uproot it and then just leave it there. Your mind is going to take you into places that it has never been before. It's going to take you back into traumatic spaces. So say if you experience a lot of traumatic experiences growing up, you will think about it. I feel like fasting is the best thing anybody can do. We are very spoiled creatures, right? Very spoiled. We have everything readily available for us. They say eat 3 times a day and do this and make... That's a lot of stress on your body, baby. To give your body time to not digest anything, it's gonna have nothing but time to think. Like I said, you will literally be left with yourself. So getting yourself a journal, writing out your thoughts will be very smart. My next tip is to be mindful of who you are telling about your fast. There are a lot of energy vampires out here, and there are a lot of people who would downplay or downtalk what you are doing. Fasting is an intimate thing with you and yourself and God, okay? During that fast, that literally showed me who I was, how much I was my own problem, how much I put myself in my own predicaments. Like, it just made me take responsibility and accountability for my life in general. I stopped pointing the finger. I was praying for wisdom since a child. And with that being said, it translated into my life in my older years. And listen, without wisdom, you got nothing, baby. And that fast really brought it out of me. It helped me to start trusting my instincts, to start listening to that voice more. Because like I said, the voice was loud and clear during that fast, but I thought I was just going crazy or just talking to myself. Nope. Life is deep, bro. Like, I had no idea. A 30-day water fast as my first fast, going from literally binge eating all the time, binge drinking all the time, binge smoking. Imagine going from all that and just going straight cold turkey. It's shown me what true strength really is, and I had no idea that I had that within me. It reset my mental. It reset, like I said, my inner self, my body. It reset how I seen the world, how I perceive people, how I perceive emotion, how I perceive life. I don't want to cry and shit, but I'm so grateful for that experience, yo. And I wish everyone, would get into the same shit. Like, whether it's just a day, one day out the week, you know what I'm saying? One day of just eating nothing but fruit, one day of just drinking water, one day of just giving your body a break, giving yourself a break, one day of you just tuning into yourself and being like, let me care for me. Because I know a majority of y'all is breaking y'all backs for everyone else. But what about you? My mother taught me that when you have a cup and it's full, it's yours. But whatever overflows from the cup is for everyone else, if you choose for it to be. Tune into yourself. Stop blaming and judging yourself, but still take accountability for yourself, of course, in your actions. It's a whole different ball game now. Like, it's a different ball game, baby. And everybody deserves to play. Everybody needs to be on the field. Okay? It's time to start working on your inner strength so you can start understanding how beautiful the world truly is. To start understanding how beautiful you are. And I feel like practicing that willpower and tapping into your health, that's what changed my life. So that's why I'm like, hey y'all, let's do it all together. The foundation was the mind. So it's like mind, body, and soul. God was really showing me the spiritual side of life. Okay? That's how I got spooky. But we love spooky over here. I'm a spooky girl, okay? If y'all didn't know. All in all, when it comes down to it, y'all, make sure you are fasting for the right reasons. You want to make sure you're doing it safely. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay? Be patient with yourself. Even if you feel like your body is like feeling faint during a fast, do not get mad at yourself and feel like you're giving up. You have to listen to your body, listen to yourself. It's about learning moderation. You start to align with your higher self. Yeah. I know in the video I said 5 fasting tips, but I think I gave way more than that. And I also lost count. Those are the many tips that I have for fasting. Share it with your friends and family. Send it to someone you care about. Send it to someone that you know can and will do better. Just plant the seed. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I just thank you for tuning in. Like, I fucks with y'all. You're eating all this junk, going about your daily life,
and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over.
Drinking, smoking, just indulging in who knows what. Just indulging. Just boop, 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 boop. I look crazy. Just indulge. But we tend to not be balanced. A lot of us are partaking in certain things just to take the edge off. You know what I'm saying? But that can be more harmful than, helpful over an extended amount of time, okay? I'm debating. If I leave that in, that's crazy. If I leave that in, that's insane.
Should I be insane? I don't know.
The body is constantly overworking itself to try to keep itself healthy. Bro, what the fuck? Okay, I gotta focus. What am I doing? Hold on, I gotta go. Let's get some notes going because I'm unorganized. I'll have my shit together eventually. Okay? Eventually. Mario. All right. What is fasting?